Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
What's up, everybody? This is today's best music for Magic 89.9. My name is Ashley. It's been a while here today for a very special interview with an incredible singer-songwriter. You've no doubt heard his music all over your TikTok For You page, and he's here to talk about it today. So please welcome the amazingly talented Abe Parker. Hi.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Great. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Let's get right into it. So I did mention, you totally blew up online, on TikTok, on the For You page. And I do want to kind of hear about that. I'm sure you've mentioned in the past that was kind of a big surprise for you, for your song to just be everywhere so quickly. Can you tell us a little bit about that moment? You kind of putting out an unfinished song to it just blowing up online.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's been such a crazy ride. This particular song it has a cool story. So we had worked on a couple of the songs. I had 3 or 4 other songs that were kind of similar, and they'd blown up in the US. And as I was finishing a song, I just had this idea, which was Butterflies. It was just a little 15-second clip. And I just kind of had a down day. And so I made a TikTok video of this one, posted it, and kind of, to be honest, kind of forgot about it. I love the song. Everything I write, I love, but I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And about a week and a half later, I came back and noticed that like 5,000 or 10,000 people had made videos to the sound. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. And so I made another video, and that was the one that really blew up and took off. And from the time that that second video was posted, I think I wrote the rest of the entire song, produced the entire song, and mixed the entire song in about 2 days. And so it was just like super, super rush. And we actually just dropped the song about a week after we posted that second video. And then from there, it's just been insane. I'm so insanely grateful to everybody that's been streaming it. And it's wild to know that like 100,000 plus people have made a video to your song.
I mean, congratulations. That's so amazing. And that's wild that you were able to, get it done so quickly. And you mentioned you had kind of written it, on a down day. And I think that's a common pattern in your music. It's very emotional. It's very vulnerable. Can you tell us, particularly with the song Butterflies, what was kind of the thought process behind it? Or what was it like writing it? Was it kind of a therapeutic experience?
Definitely therapeutic. I love, I don't know, I feel like I'm one of the luckiest people to be able to write songs, because it's just like therapy, self-therapy every day. But in particular, it's about that feeling when you're starting to fall for somebody, you start to fall in love with somebody, but you don't know if they feel the same way. So don't want to ruin the relationship you have by telling them how you feel. You kind of get stuck in this like limbo. That's what this song was about for me.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I noticed, like online, your presence is so refreshing, because I think you're not just vulnerable with your music, but, on social media, you also kind of share about personal experiences. You talk about missing people or wanting to reach out to people you love. How important is it for you to kind of show that part of yourself to your fans?
Yeah, I think it's super important. Are you able to hear me? Or is the audio all good?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's super important. I don't know. For me, when I listen to other artists, and they get really real and really almost embarrassingly real with lyrics, a lot of times I connect to that so much. I know artists like John Bellion or John Mayer have influenced me in the past with their lyrics that are just, artists that it's almost awkward how vulnerable they are. And to me, that just, it's always been something that I really connect to, and so I try to do that. I try to be able to be honest with people, but if I can, honest in a way that that a lot of people can connect to. So, maybe I have not writing about super, super, super specific things, but being very honest about things that a lot of people go through.
All right. That's so cool that you're able to connect with people in that way. And I know you've been writing music for a long time. So I do want to ask kind of about your trajectory as an artist. You've mentioned before you've gotten to write and produce for other artists. So I kind of wanted to ask, how was that process like for you from, getting started in music? What was it like building your career? Did you uh, initially plan on writing for other artists, or were you always gonna, work as a solo artist?
I think when I was in high school and just really wanting to start, I've always wanted to be a musician. I've kind of always had that drive. I think the goal was always to just do the artist thing, to write songs about, what I was feeling and share those with people. But as I was going along, just kind of like learning how to do things, um, the other thing just kind of fell in my lap, like the producing for other people or writing for other people, even mixing for other people. I've just done that simply because it kind of just came along and people needed some help. And I do love collaborating. I love working with people. And yeah, I just feel so blessed to be able to help other people and to know that like the skills that I have are able to, help other people too. So.
Okay, well, that's great that you enjoy collaborating and also that you kind of get to take part in so many different facets of making music. And you've mentioned before you felt at a very young age you were, and I'm quoting you here, you were called to be a musician. Can you tell us kind of about that moment of realization when you were like, I think this is what I'm meant to do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's such a wild feeling because when I was a kid, um, so I started playing music really young. Like I was probably 5 and I started on a ukulele and, my grandpa gave me this ukulele and I would write songs about Tyrannosaurus Rexes, which I will not be singing this evening. Um, and I was always kind of musical. My parents played a lot and we would play in church growing up. And I remember when we did that, I was just terrified. I was petrified to play in front of people. And yeah, so for me, um, there was a big moment where, let's see, there was a talent show. There was a talent show in high school, and I was terrified, but I just, what was, I think I'd like prayed or something. And I was like, God, if you help me with this, I'll like, point to you or something like that. And it was amazing. Like I was able to overcome my fear. I ended up winning the talent show for the next like 2 or 3 years in a row. And it was just like a really cool, really cool moment just to feel like, okay, yeah, like I know this is what I'm called to. I feel like this is where I belong. And it's been a long, long road. Like it's definitely not easy. A lot of people feel that draw towards music, and I'm here to encourage and help anybody I can. But it's hard. But I'm very grateful to be where I'm at.
All right, well, that's amazing. You did mention that it was a long road. I do think you've talked before about how it was a very long journey for you working towards getting your career going. And I think for any artist, there's always that element of struggle. Do you have any advice for aspiring musicians or anyone who wants to do what you're doing now?
Oh man, so much advice. I don't know if we have time. I don't know if it's all good advice either. One thing I wish I would have done when I started off was actually just to get an actual job. I moved to Atlanta and I, didn't know anybody in Atlanta. I didn't have any friends in Atlanta. I didn't have a job in Atlanta. I didn't have anything. I literally just moved there and I was sleeping in my car, playing on the street. And probably for a good, I was either couch hopping or playing or, sleeping in my car for a good 4 or 5 years. Just going back and forth. And in retrospect, I wish I would have lined something up, just like work at a restaurant or, you know, I think John Bellion said it really well once, like your first goal as a musician is to find a way to make music pay the bills, no matter what it is. So, if you got to sing wedding gigs or, if you have to write, hooks for hip hop songs, or if you have to, um, write sync rock and roll songs, all those things I've done. Whatever it takes just to pay the bills. And then once you're at that stage, then you can say, all right, what things are going to further my career? And then you can start, maybe I don't want to play weddings anymore, and then slowly kind of work your way up. I think if I would have started like that, I would have gotten farther a little faster, I think.
I think that's cool either way, to have that lesson in hindsight and also to have tried so many different, forms of making music, whether for other people or for yourself. That's really cool. And now that you're in a much, much better spot and you've got a great fan base, where do you kind of want to go as an artist now? Like, what are your big goals? Like, where do you see yourself going from here?
Well, I want to play in the Philippines, that's for sure. I definitely a Southeast Asia tour, I think, is on the horizon. We are going to be releasing a single probably every month or a month and a half for the rest of the summer, and then probably a full album in the fall, followed by some kind of a tour in the States, or maybe in Southeast Asia, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia. I think that's the next step. And, I'm just kind of taking each step. And, we could talk about, lifelong goals. Like everyone wants to conquer the world and play arenas everywhere. But I think focusing on what you can do in the next, 4 weeks is kind of for me, that's the only thing I know how to do, is just to focus on the next 4 weeks. Because if I set year-long goals, I never get there.
Well, I think that's a great mindset to have. And, we're so excited to hear that you're not only putting out more music, but hopefully coming to Southeast Asia soon. And that was actually going to be my next question. A big part of your fan base are people, from Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, and right here in the Philippines, which, it's incredible to have such a far reach with your music. And what's it been like kind of connecting with people from this side of the world and knowing that they've had such a connection with your music?
I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful to everybody. So the first 4 songs that I released were primarily, they did really well. Not as well as Butterflies, but they all did really, really well. And it was all, mostly US and Canada, a little Australia. But then Butterflies specifically was just super, super big in the Philippines and Indonesia and Malaysia. And I've just been so grateful. It's to be honest, it's been kind of a full-time job responding to DMs on Instagram. But I really, really, if I have the time, I try to respond to everybody, at least once, just to say thank you, maybe a little thank you or an emoji or something. It's been so cool to see that. It's so cool to see people covering my song. So many people from the Philippines have been posting covers of the song. And I think the coolest thing was that before the song was even out, there were like multiple YouTube videos that were up that had like hundreds of thousands of views. And it was only the 15-second clip I had posted, but repeated for like 20 minutes on a YouTube video. And just knowing that people were that interested in the song before it even released was pretty awesome.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing that. And happy you are to hear that. And I know you've already waxed poetic about how grateful you are for your fans. But before we do head on out of here, just real quick, how about a message straight to the Filipino fans who love you and would love to see you in the future?
Well, hey guys, I just want to say thank you so much. I, to be honest, don't know what else to say except for thank you. It's been so awesome just to see how many of you guys have connected with this song, have shared the song, have sent the song to other people, have sent me DMs about the song. I'm so crazy grateful, and I can't wait to hopefully come and tour in the Philippines soon.
Well, thank you. I also can't wait to come see you live. Once again, you guys, this has been Abe Parker, incredible singer-songwriter. Thank you so much, Abe, for joining us. We would love to see you here in the future. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Once again, my name is Ashley. This has been today's best music for Magic 89.9. Bye, you guys.